Are you struggling for consistency in your sim racing? Does your iRating look like a roller coaster? If so, we have good news for you. The way to get more consistent is to first understand what you're doing differently than the professionals. And VRS is the answer. With our competitive subscription, you will have the telemetry, setups, tutorials, and everything else you need to fully analyze your driving. Our data packs and the ability to compare your driving with the best in the world will show you exactly where to adjust your inputs, change your driving line, and shave seconds off of your lap times. And our powerful and precise Direct Force Pro wheelbase and precision pedals are being used by some of the world's best drivers. All these champions agree that VRS hardware is not just the best on the market, it's also priced well below the competition. So if you're looking to upgrade to direct drive and the best pedals in sim racing, VRS is your answer. If you want to get better, get faster, and make it happen sooner rather than later, you owe it to yourself to find out why so many people are switching to VRS. You'll be so glad that you did. Visit www.virtualracingschool.com and learn why the best use VRS.
Hello and welcome to the season finale of SRF Weekend Warriors, presented by Rennsport here from Sonoma. This for the Formula 4 earlier on. But what a finish we had here at Sonoma. Came down to the wire in so many categories. It was a scintillating finish. But now it's turn of the bigger grid for SRFs. You're going to see more of the same. Well, there's still plenty up for grabs. I'm Tim Cox, Charles Michelle joining me very shortly. Spila Como, the virtual production trailer. Let's take a look through the championship standings coming into this final round of the season. Of course, a shortened season this year because, well, we had to take 2 weeks off for Christmas and New Year. First time we've done that in a while, I can tell you. And Spec 1, first of all, Dudu Castro leads coming into this final round. But he's got some, 40-odd points ahead of Jason Green, but a disaster for Castro and a win for Green. That's the only realistic way we're going to overturn that one. Green in second, he's comfortable ahead of Evandro Dantas, but Dantas has Favini only 22 points behind him, who likewise has Gardini only 20 points behind him. So that is still up for grabs, very much so. Who's going to finish in that third spot? We'll keep an eye on that one throughout the race. Bobby West, a little bit cut adrift. It looks like he stood with a chance earlier on in the season. It's fallen by the wayside, but could slip further because Kabanka is only 3 points behind him in 7th. McCain in 8th. Wood 9th, and Jason Perry rounding out the top 10 there. Across to Spec 2 now, and Trenton Kramer looking to make it 2 championships to his name this season. Of course, we wrapped up the Formula 4s earlier on with the win in class as well to boot. But it's much tighter here. He's only 16 points ahead of Phil Berry in the Triple Eight. So the Aussie has all of our Australian races up at the crack of dawn, 5 o'clock in the morning, no less, to come and race here. Paul Jackson, he's in third. And, well, although not really in with a shout at the win necessarily, could still potentially nick that second place off of Berry. Sean Vincent, well, again, can't really take second, but could move up 1 place into third. Stephen Healy, he's in 5th and can't really make the podium positions in terms of the championship. Paolo Brain in 6th. He's only 1 point ahead of Caleb Pocock entering this round. Josh Justice 8th. Yurcevic and Simpkins running at the top 10 there. Across into Masters now, and, well, Yogmani, another driver looking to make it 2 championships from 2. Not quite as dominating per se, but not far off in comparison to what he's had in the Formula Fords this season. Murakami, he's cemented for 2nd, but it's that 3rd place. Bradwell and Cathcart, the 2 Australians, 1 point separating them. Race, he's not far off on, though he wasn't with us earlier on, and I can't see him here today, so he's cemented on that 409. So realistically, it's between the 2 Aussies, Cathcart and Gradwell, who takes that last position in the podium in the championship. Nunez 6th, then it's Brewster, Bradshaw, Warbolt, and Thorpe to round out your top 10 there, which they're quite close together themselves as well. Oh, Charles Bashal, welcome along. Here we go. We've got, what, 6.5 minutes in qualifying to go. We've got some tight battles in the championship. I mean, yeah, here we go. Masters, that one, qualifying at the moment, I've seen Gradwell, he's 11th, and Cathcart 26. So that's a big old disparity in terms of grid spaces.
Yeah, it really is. That's a big jump. Now, obviously, that's going to be, it's not probably that much different distance on tracks, probably only maybe a second, but yeah, it's a lot of cars between each other and a lot of positions to make up. I'm going to tip my hat to these to our Austin contingent. 3 drivers potentially getting podiums, for the championship. Having to get up early Monday morning, and get out here and do the racing. Obviously, kind of limited also with lag, with the latency issues that we deal with Aussie drivers. So, I mean, hats off to them. Well done to be in the battle for overall or championship podium for your class.
Castro is at top. Well, you've got the top 2 in Spec 1, haven't we? Castro and Green, top of the pile, sharing the front row at the moment. But look who's behind them. It's Pinero and Lynn provisionally with 5 minutes left in qualifying. Those front 2 are locked out by some big old names, and that's aside of who's lining up all then behind them. In terms of people out of position, though, Andrew Favini a little bit far down. McCain mid-pack, he's 21st at the moment. But good news, Charles, we've got a driver back with us in the form of Andres Bertoni. Watch for him coming from the field, as always. Phil Berry, he's had 2 attempts at qualifying so far, both times deleted, so he's looking like he's going to be 39th, but that's not what he needs in terms of that Spec 2.
Oh, definitely not. No, you definitely need to get at least a time on the board to try and at least improve from that back. I mean, yeah, Bertoni's going to be back there with him, and if you're gonna have somebody back there that you can kind of just follow up the order, I mean, he's a pretty good one because he always seems like he makes a lot of headway. That's why we give him the hard charger, and we name it in his honor for the hard charger award for most positions gained over the course of the race. So yeah, if I'm Castro and Green, obviously, we're looking at solidifying their positions on the podium. But those names are not Pinero and Lynn are not the names you want to be right behind you at the start of the race, trying to battle for a race win.
It's nice with Def, isn't it? Yeah, though they've just been disrupted by Jeff Fritcher, who's on an absolute blinding qualifying. He's right in there. Our top 3 separated by 3/4 of a tenth. Fritcher, a little bit. So the gap between Pinero and Castro, it's the same gap between Pinero and Fritcher. So top 3, same type of timers. The distance between 3rd and 4th at the moment. So that is incredibly close. I mean, I talk like it's a massive amount of time. It's really, really not. A blink of an eye's 3/10 of a second, of which that takes you all the way down to Cabanca in 10th.
Yeah, exactly right. That's scary to think about. We always have, we've got right now top 22 within a second of pole. Overall, 2 seconds. From top to bottom, it's just that's what we come to expect with these big SRF grids week in and week out. and always provides for some really exciting racing on the track.
There is your provisional pole sitter, Tudu Castro, towing his good friend Evandro Dantas, fellow countryman, around for the tour with him. Where is Dan? There he is, 7th. I haven't quite spotted him yet on the listing. Quarter of a second behind in terms of the timing qualifying, the fastest lap. Inside the last 2 minutes now. Of course, drivers do get to finish off their final lap. They get over the line before the checkered flag flies. Oh, look at that from Castro. 2 purple sectors, a green sector one to boot, but that middle sector free. Yellow, no improvement there. What's it going to be across the line? Dantas fastest of anyone. He's on an improving lap. Here we go as they cut the timing beam. It's a long run up to it here. Improvements from them. 400 slower from Castro, but Dantas goes to pole with a 42.03.
I'm just guessing because I don't really know the sectors layout here, but my guess is sector 3 is probably that run down into the hairpin at the end of the drag strip, and Castro being in front, he didn't have the benefit of maybe somebody in front he could draft off of. Probably why he had the yellow sector there.
Yes, it probably would be, wouldn't it? Probably would be. And no improvements there from any of the drivers that are just being shown on the screen. Oh, Fafini around. Marnie just going fastest in the final sector of anyone. Gardini just moving up to 12 in these late stages. As we've got 30 seconds roughly. Plus a bit of change until the checkered flag flies here. I mean, we saw earlier on, the theme seemed to be, it was in the Formula Fords, a little bit challenging to overtake around here. I mean, no surprise, it is Sonoma. It doesn't matter what car you're in, it is generally like that. But you never quite know with these cars, do you? You never quite know. We've seen places, you shouldn't be overtake there, and we've seen brilliant overtakes at many a track in those sort of situations.
Yeah, I think you'll get a little better passing in 7, and then in the final corner, both the hairpins, just because you got that long straight coming down there, and these cars draft much better than the Formula Fords do. So it wouldn't surprise me that there's a little better opportunity for overtakes going down into those hard braking zones.
Wouldn't be surprising. A checker flag is out now, so the drivers did get out before, get across the line, before that flew. We'll be able to complete their lap. There is one of them, Josh Justice, just heading down to the hairpin, and into the pit. So he is done. He's 20th at the moment in the 399. And some drivers going to come across the line. Yes, they are. So Stephen Healy being one of them. The 2A7 just in front of him there, and you're monitoring and tow them all around to improve their lap times. Any improvements? Well, as they cut the timing beam, Todd Martin the other one. So Healy moves up one place. He heads in front of Brad Cathcart into 23rd. I see any improvement. Panero.
It's kind of
no.
Yeah. It's kind of unusual. We've been seeing where people were making up very big, making up several positions in the last couple laps of the qualifying, and tonight it just didn't work.
And that's what Arnis Jusevic, the Latvian, thinks of it all. Just sticks it in the wall. Frustrated by qualifying. He's down in 28th. Not the best qualifying by any stretch of imagination that we've seen from Arnis, but hey, I mean, look at Trenton Kramer. He's just won a championship in the Formula Fords, that he's on course as well in the SRFs, and he's, by his own admission, horrific at qualifying.
Yeah, he's P2 in class, had a really good run. He's just about a 10th or so behind Montgomery. So yeah, it's just, P18, the high spec 2 driver. It's a little unusual. Don Dawson, looks like everybody's coming into the pits here for the end of quali as we're wrapping things up. Just a few cars left on track, and there's the end of qualifying. We'll kick over to the race.
good news. My internet just glitched out right at the crucial moment there before everything got off and running again.
Awesome.
You know, so hence why I suddenly departed you briefly for. it just lags and hangs, and you're like, oh no, please don't. It's okay because we've got a full pace lap to enjoy and a big grid to get through. There we go. Evandro Dantas, a great lap late on, being towed around by Castro, who'll be maybe not too impressed by that one, but it's an all Brazilian front row for the final race of the season here from Sonoma. Dantas and Castro. Then we've got Green and Pinheiro on row 2 before top qualifier in Masters. Jeff Richer knocking down Yang-Shi Lin into 6th. It's another Masters and Spec 1 row in the form of Jorg Marni and Yatabino. Bobby West and Christian Cabanca make up row 5 in the top 10. Then it's Alberto Pellegrini and Claudio Gardini on row 6. Row 7, Dan Word and Kurt Nunes. Well, Tom Gradwell has Chris Murakami for company in the All Masters row 8. I got that wrong with that. Jason Perry and Chris Montgomery on row 9, while Trenton Kramer and Josh Justice make up the All Spec 2 row 10. Row 11 is Kane and Simpkins, Healy and Cathcart on row 12 together. So Cathcart, a lot of work to do there. Favini and Mitchell next to each other on 13. 14 is Brewster and Yusevic. Brame and Jackson on row 15 in the top 30. There's Vincent and Martin, another All Spec 2 row there. Tom Laurie has Stevie Ray for company, and another All Masters row in the form of Thorpe and Vaccaro. On row 18, row 19 was Warbolt and Telka. Baglini is next to Andres Bertoni, who did not make the did not sell lap time, apologies, and Phil Berry neither did either, to make up a 41 car grid. Here we go, Charles.
Yeah, Barry's going to have some work, obviously. Well, you know what? Don't even see him on the track. It's not like I'm not sure if he's had an internet issue, which obviously being Australian, that happens a lot to them, where they'll have lags out.
It even happens to British commentators as well. He's just having to load into the system back again after it's the inevitable booted out for lack of packet upload loss. The joys of the internet. The joys.
Yep. Yeah, that's basically the essential. Is we'll have a little kerfuffle here on the pace lap. 207 car. Todd Martin. Ooh, blink. Oh yeah. Speaking of internet issues, and then everybody checks up. That is the worst thing in the world is blinking car on the track. You never know where he's going to pop back in. So you just have to make an avoiding action there, and hopefully, you don't run into anybody else. Not so fortunate for a few of those drivers there.
Yusevic saying in the in-game text chat, sorry, something went wrong with my wheel.
Oh,
brutal. Seen that before, haven't we? Yeah.
We have.
We have. It's caused a few deaths before hardware failures, but hey, stuff that you can do. It's the sim racing equivalent of a mechanical failure in real life.
Yeah, that's what I was just getting ready to say before we saw all that. It's internet issues, hardware failures. It's essentially just what racers deal with when you have $2 parts fail on $500,000 race cars.
Or like Peugeot in the World Endurance Championship yesterday. Just not put enough fuel in, even though it says it has. But here we go. Evandro Dantas controls the pace. Let's get ready to go racing for the final time this season in the SRF Weekend Warriors, as we are green and we are racing, and Dantas is holding on just enough for now. He tries to open up the corner a bit to curtail the advances of Dudu Castro, who's now left squandering and fighting. He's got Green to his left, Pinheiro tucked up right behind him. Those two have come to blows many a times over the last few seasons. Is it going to be any different here tonight? Tabino making good progress early on, but that's not Gradwell, and that's crucial in terms of the championship outcome, isn't it?
It is, yeah, falling back as we see just cars.
Oh, that was Pritchard. Oh, no, for that great qualifying. Starting 5th, he's lost the rear on corner exit and around he's gone.
Yeah, these cars, sometimes they'll be all right with the curbs and sometimes they won't. This is the elevation change. We see Nunez get kind of crossed up there coming down the hill. Sometimes the elevation changes along with curbs, and these cars unsettled just a little bit too much. So look, trying to go 3 wide down into the hairpin.
I thought they were going to make it 4. That's why I was going to be like, you Simpkins up 7 places. He's right in this fight right now. And in fact, that's going to be 8, is it? Yeah, he's going to squeeze his way through on the opening lap. What an opening lap from the Dutchman. He's into 14th. He's up 8. Or will he be? Because Trenton Kramer is fighting back through the S, as we said. Well, he's not the best for overtaking around here, but you can sometimes work some magic in these cars. We're seeing it all over again. Onto the brakes. Is this going to work out? Oh, they're 3 wide in the background. McCain's stuck on the outside there. Kurt Nunes trying to make some advances. But wow, at the end of the first lap, who Simpkins is going to lead? Or is he? Or is he? Or is he? Because here's Tramer. He's got the inside, so not quite that opening lap. Wow.
Wow. And this is a battle for the Spec 2 lead as well. So Simpkins has done a great job moving his way up, and he's given Kramer everything he can handle at this point.
Wow. He's holding it. He's just about.
Oh,
no. That's Favini off. That's gone. And that. Wow, that could give it back there. Yeah. His front left suspension and most of his front bumper. And you lucky boy, Andrea Favini.
Yeah, there's just a clip of the wall there, and looks like he just about got away with it.
Yeah, just about. It was a full-on wall at my end anyway. That's how it looked. Then all of a sudden, all those body parts pop back in again. But it is right now Dan just leading. Excuse me, Castro, Green, Panero, and Yatabino's up 3 places. He had a good, strong start. Leonard Marley behind him remained unchanged. As for Andres Paterni, just a casual 13 spots into 27.
Yeah, easy start for Bertoni. Yep.
Seeing through it, there he is, making his way through the field. I thought he was even bump drafting Paolo Brain there, but no, he wasn't. Just sucked right up behind the Italian, and the Italian going defensive. Bertoni moves to driver's left, so he swooped round through the hairpin, gonna get caught out a little bit. Oh, the 226, who is that? Storming through, that's Sean Vincent coming in. Wow, like a cannonball there, the American.
Yeah, you can really, if you're good on late braking, you can really make up a lot of time in that final hairpin. As we saw with Vincent there, it was just a late lunge down, and was able to take the inside and really tighten that race up.
Lovely stuff from him. Lovely stuff. Right, settling down a little bit on lap 3, 4 minutes complete. Interestingly, fastest lap so far goes to the honours of Bobby West, no less. He's running in 11th. Is the Brit there? He is tucked up well onto this front group. He's at the rear ender there, the rear gunner. Pellegrini just in front of him. He's one of 4 Brazilians inside that top 10. Meanwhile, behind them, Dan Word making advances on Murakami. He's going to get that job done in lovely style. Textbook maneuver from the Mexican. Well, Murakami incidentally second in class right now. Playing a little bit safe. Would love to be part of that front group to take the fight to Jorg Marni. Kurt Nunes, you just see him in the background there in the 918 machine. He's 3rd in Masters. But in the middle of them, 1, 2, and 3 in the Spec 2, Kramer, Simpkins, and Montgomery.
Yeah, good battle so far early in the race here. I'm just kind of looking up and down the order, seeing these little trains starting to form with the front 11, and then another group from 12, look like back to around P20.
As much as that is 3 wide, Castro has passed Dantas for the lead off camera. There in turn, what says 1, 2, and 3. That's sort of complex there, so I'm guessing that was up the inside on the brakes to get that one done. So we've got a new leader here on lap 4. It's hard to know where to look, isn't it? We were on for
really
a classic here. We're on for another SRF Weekend Warriors classic. It's all change, left, right and centre. There's Brewster with, well, guess who? Andreas Bertoni, 17 places into 23rd now, though. Bit of a gap ahead of him. It's Brad Cathcart and this car on the road. He's 2.2 seconds up the road. Kurt Nunes, Steve Mitchell's apologies, he's trying to follow him through there in a 917. That's on Stephen Healy.
Yeah, lots of people moving forward and some people moving back as we're going too wide through that turn 7 area.
Talking of moving back, that's Jason Green losing places. He's lost one to Panero. Oh, squeezes his way in front of Yatabino there. Trying to stay part of this fight. He needs to stay in touch with Castro. The only way he can take the championship away from him. But he needs to beat him by numerous places. Realistically, he's got to try and win this one. It's all or nothing here for Green.
It really is. He's got to try and get the win. He's definitely have to finish in front of Castro several positions. So as long as Castro's out front, he can really dictate the pace of the race and keep himself secure in that top spot for the championship.
It's got all the billings here for another classic in this series. It's been eventful, it's been gnarly, it's been close in this opening stages. We've still got another 33 minutes remaining.
Yeah, it's we'll get this exciting part. We'll get into probably the 12-minute mark. It's pretty close as far as the fuel between this and the Formula Ford. So 12 or 13 minutes, I think, was when the pit lane officially opened. We'll probably see that as we see Trenton Kramer going wide through there.
Of course, with
no.
Simpkins. Whoa, that could have been absolute disaster as Nunes comes through, and this could be Josh Justice slipping his way through. He's come from, well, a little bit of obscurity in some ways. He's been outside the top 3. He's in 3rd and nearly nicking 2nd off of Simpkins as this group is starting to break up a little bit right now. It's not what we want as the neutral third-party viewers, but Murakami be loving it. He's 1.5 seconds clear of Montgomery, you can see on your screens there. He's leading Spec 2. There is Murakami with Wood, of course. We saw him pass a couple of laps ago to move himself up into 12.
Yeah, Justice started the season off really, really strong. And then somewhere in the mid part of the season, he started having hardware issues with his wheel. And I think that's kind of messed him up as far as maybe how much time he could get for practice, and as well as just his performance on the track has just not been where it was to start the season.
Yeah, he had back-to-back wins at Willow Springs and Tsukuba, and since then, Charles, he's not been back to the podium since in Spec 2. In fact, actually, according to my records, it's the only time he's been on the podium this season is when he's won. All or nothing from Josh Justice, so it could be another one of those evenings again tonight.
Very possible.
Castro looking to make it 2 wins on the bounce instantly himself, and we're not far off having exactly the same top 3, and that's Green going to lose that place. As that's Yatabino. Was he going to be through? Because this is the weird thing here about Sonoma. If you can just hold on enough on that outside line, you get so much more momentum, so much more pace off the corner, which is what Jason Green is just doing, but he's not quite getting the move done. That is so tight. They almost touch wheels, but I think he's going to have to, he's going to have to get back in line, and that's going to be behind Dabino. Lynn, well, couldn't quite capitalise on that one. Meanwhile, up front, Castro is checking out 1.7 seconds ahead.
Yeah, he's really started stretching that gap out. So these guys are going to have to stay in line and work together and see if they can get back into that draft range of Castro. If they do, they can tie this race right back up. Oh, as we see a spin, not quite a spin, but it was contact between Dantas and Panero.
Panero's not going to front bonnet as across the line. They're going to be 2 by 2 nearly. They all zip him together on another. I mean, you see Panero, he was edging a little bit. He was desperate. Here comes Green now on Dantas. trying to flick more misery on the Brazilian, who was running second, only one corner ago. But on the inside line, can he make it stick? But the outside, as we said, just carry that momentum. Green just sat in the car, rocking it forward, trying to get every last horsepower out of it. Oh, that was sideways.
Yeah, end up cost himself another position there to Lynn also.
In the background of this, that's Pellegrini moving up a spot over Gardini. Those two 9th and 10th respectively right now. A gap up front incidentally now, Charles, due to that battle, 2.3 seconds. It's about half a second bigger as... Here we go, here's the replay of what happened. Ooh, Simpkins here on Kurt Nunes. As Simpkins has lost a lot of places.
Oh, just hooked on the inside curb there and then spun and then had a little more contact. Was that Kramer?
I think it might have been, yes. You know, I mean, I clipped the, as we called them, the rock solid tyre barrel, bundles of tyres here, and in iRacing, and well, that's what seemed to sort of send him a bit more, and then the contact just, well, it finished him off really. You know, it was just cherry on top of the cake. So
yeah,
right,
yeah. So now he's just gonna have to try and stay in line until he can get in for his pit stop, which should be opening pretty in the next lap or two, as we see Pellegrini coming in now. So I'm going to guess that means that he feels like he can make it to the end, because I don't see any damage on the car. So if these guys can get in and get their fuel and their fast repair, he might have a chance to salvage a few positions out of that after all.
It was this lap. It was the next lap that we saw in the Formula 4 earlier on, the first stop. But the undercut seemed to be the powerful maneuver earlier on. I just wonder, Charles, if we're going to see the same again here.
Yeah, you know, I think the part of the
is
we see
around.
that Dantas around.
Well, he
That's
will not.
Weird position looking at the tire. Oh, and that rejoin wasn't great, but you know, I think should have seen him there because he was trying to get the car righted. But I'm just looking at the tracks of the cars coming through there. It just looked kind of straight, like maybe there was another car involved, like that was not a single. No, just lost the rear. Just absolutely lost the rear. Green had to check up, take avoiding action. You see the shot here from Cathcart coming over. Yep. And, yeah, it wasn't great. Wasn't great. A little contact there between Dantas and Cathcart.
It's losing more places. He's off the track, as that's Bertoni now by him. They love lost between those two South American drivers. There's Bradwell having a bit of a blink out there. In fact, Bradwell falling down through the order, Charles. I'm now wondering, is that going to be a disconnect? Oh.
Yeah, definitely seems like there may be some connectivity issues today. We've seen, along with you, we've seen several people are getting booted from this, getting disconnected from the server, which doesn't happen often, but if it does, I mean, I've seen it where we've had multiple, tens of cars being disconnected and kicked out of a race session.
It's almost like there's maybe something being uploaded, something big onto the servers here at iRacing for next week.
Yeah, that's possible. That is possible.
Goes rain.
Yes.
Yeah. Worst kept secret in longest anticipated thing in the whole of sim racing coming soon. And you'll see it here. The first big grid race ever on iRacing to feature rain will be the Weekend Warriors runoffs next Sunday here on Apex Racing TV, 7 p.m. GMT. We will be live. Formula 4s and SRFs. Formula 4s will be in the rain from Okayama. Make sure you tune in for that one. It's going to be nothing short of absolutely fascinating. None of us know what to expect.
No, and I think Stevie said it was pretty much going to be a full grid. So look for 60 cars out there, or 60 cars if everybody can make their PCs work. That's always going to be a thing. I'm sure, we've talked about it. My team will be doing a lot of testing and some fun stuff this week with rain involved. I'm sure everybody that's got friends out there will be doing hosted sessions, just making sure that if there's any settings they need to tweak to handle the extra GPU and CPU requirements for rain, to go ahead and get that taken care of before they get in and do any real racing.
Talking of real racing, this is really hotting up now. 3 cars, 2 places on the podium, because this guy's checked out there, Castro. 3.2 seconds clear now of a wounded Marco Panero, who has Lynn and Sabino, who've been fighting amongst themselves over third behind. But seeming to me like Panero, I mean, it's not a draft track dependent. Yeah, it's not a draft dependent track. No. This one here at Sonoma, so it'll get away with that damage to the front end. I say damage. There's nothing left to be damaged. The front bumper, hood, whatever you want to call it. Yep. Non-existent. The modified look, as you've actually renamed it.
Yeah, the modified look, and it's obviously there's a couple spots on the track where there obviously see Lynn making up the gap, where he's getting a good toe on those 2 straightaways. Going through the S's, you'll get a good run with one little tight right-hander. But you can make up a lot of ground, as you see here, and so you can make that run into the final hairpin. So it's so he is losing ground there, but most of the rest of the track, you can probably get away with that. I'm sure he's not feeling very comfortable because the car probably feels very, very sluggish in comparison to what he's used to.
Talking of which, as Jason Perry heads into pit road, Green and Co have really dropped off this group, haven't they? They're 2.2 seconds behind them. And I think maybe Green just decided to the fact that if Castro gone out the front, do you know what, let's play this one safe. I can't win this one. I'm just gonna, no necessarily malice or bad feelings, just hope something happens to Castro. And that's the only way I'm gonna win this championship. I may as well just hang on in here, play my usual game, and just go for that. Incidentally, Kabanka's on a cracker, because we see him, anyone watches the Formula 4, he's always there, right up the front. Not so good in the SRFs, by his own admission, but he's medaling the air with the best today.
Yeah. If you're running anywhere around Jorg-Monty, you're probably having a pretty good race, because Jorg is absolutely blisteringly quick in this car. He's doing a really good job, and I was just kind of looking down. I did see that Gradwell did have a disconnect. He has been kicked from the server, so that's his race done. Of course, championship implications involved in that. See Nunez off the track there with a spin.
Through by is going to come Jeff Fritcher and Andres Bertoni, both of them having eventful races for very contrasting reasons. Fritcher having started 5th on the grid, looped it coming out of turn 4, then has managed to pluck his way back up to 15th now. Behind him, Andres Bertoni now 24 spots. So he's over halfway through.
It is Kramer.
Yeah.
And I saw a piece of blue car.
There's Lynn.
Oh no.
There's Lynn.
And Panero.
What is going on? Everyone's falling off the track at the same, and he's driving.
That's I'm going to say he's showing his displeasure with whatever happened there. I'm sure Samuli will get us some replays as I say that. Here they come. So here's Kramer. He's got Justice behind him, and I think that is, who is that? The 33. Gardini in front.
That's the 303, isn't it?
Was it the 303? Okay, sorry.
Yeah, it's Josh. Sorry, 313 even. Sorry.
Yep. Chris Montgomery.
Yes, thank you. So, next one up, Lynn versus Panero. So Lynn had been, he got his car halfway along.
Not sure about that one. Kind of looked like Lynn had made a little bit of overlap there and got to the inside of Panero, and Panero closed the door and closed it right on Lynn's foot. Just see this. He's got a good run. Yeah.
This will give us definitive answer. a third alongside. Is that enough, though? Oh, I don't know.
Yeah. And we'll leave that for the stewards to decide. But obviously, Panero thought that was not the way that should have been handled and decided he was going to drive back and get a good look at Lynn there and give him another little tap.
Well, that's shaking things up a bit because now Tabino's in a solid second. Jason Green back on the podium. There's Montgomery down pit road. So comes Trenton Kramer. Panero is he stopped? I wonder if he's been disqualified for driving the one-way around the track far enough that it's triggered it.
Maybe so. Yeah, that's kind of what I'm thinking too. I mean, that was a pretty good long run backwards, and the iRacing will not let you do that in a hosted race or an official race. But going back to the Kramer and Justice, it kind of like Kramer just maybe lost the rear end and just didn't get back, or as he was trying to get back on the throttle and kind of looped it. I don't think Justice really had anywhere to go, so I don't know that was I don't think that was necessarily anything malicious there. So it looks like a racing deal, and those happen from time to time as well, and so they happen actually more often than not.
Well, so everyone has, I mean, it's shaking things up. It's trying to absorb what the ramifications are. So Masters is largely unchanged. Good news on that one. It is Marnie, Murakami, and Fritcher. Okay, that's easy. Justice now leads Spec 2, but I'm about to say, he hasn't pitted. Right on cue, Barn and Josh. And next up is Stephen Healy, but again, he's yet to pit. And same with Paolo Brain. Those guys being, well, there's Healy, 13th, Brain, 16th. Next up, Masters we've got covered. We've explained earlier, it's now Castro, Tabino, and Cream, but they're all very, very spaced out. Well, this third place overall become interesting, hasn't it? Because it's now Green, Marnie, Kabanka, Gardini, West all involved in that scrap. With a lot on the line now, whereas there wasn't really before.
No, I mean, Green's now up to third. So he's 2 spots behind Castro. Obviously, still losing points and need to be gaining points. But, there's only one car between him and Castro now and 6 seconds worth of time. We just saw, I think we caught the end of Kramer spinning again. I think he's got car damage, like suspension or wheel damage from the contacts he's had. I think he's got to bring that into the pits and get his repair done. Looking down the pit board, Lynn obviously towed. Brewster's in the pits now for his pit stop. And so Fritcher's back up to 11th. So that definitely helps him in his battle. So he's made up some more positions from all the argy and bargy that's going on on the track. So that's definitely a plus in his favor.
As there goes Dan Wood. So those two have changed around at some point, Murakami and Wood, although Wood now into the pit. The undercut worked earlier on, but Tony also in as well from 10th, just up a casual 30 spots before he pitted. Yeah. Interest Batoni things.
Interest Batoni things, exactly.
Laurie, Brame, and Thorpe now all in. That means our lowest driver. Oh, front tyres. Okay. Not something to see. Or maybe someone has forgot to untick them.
Yeah. That's probably more likely. I don't know. Maybe he thinks that coming in and getting fronts. I mean, he obviously has been pushing hard to make up that kind of time. So maybe he thinks fronts that missed his pit box and backed up. That's what did it. So you missed your pit box, backed up, which reset your car selections for your pits, and so he was furiously unticking boxes. Tried to, so he probably took one tire during that, to be fair.
I'm not sure. I can't remember whether, because on certain cars, one tick does 2 tires. like NASCAR, for example, where you can take
Mhm.
lefts or the rights or both. So
Right.
I'm not. I can't remember. It's been a while since I've driven this car. I should know better. I'm not angry. I'm just disappointed in myself. I said it for you, Charles, so you didn't have to. Right. So that's going to affect his performance. So he's still up. Despite all that, he's still up 20 places into 20th, and he'll gain a few more, I believe, when as Healy is our lowest driver who's yet to pit. He's 11th. Jeff Fritcher just heading in now. Kurt Nunes trying to make a bit of progress on Montgomery. There comes Fritcher down Pit Road. McCain, will he pop in? Will Healy pop in? No, they go again. But we're still only on 26 minutes. I mean, we've still plenty of time.
Yeah, it's probably still another. I'm going to guess 2 laps, just based on when they came into the pits. The initial drivers that came in. So yeah, probably either this lap or the next one. Yeah, Fritcher's had a good run. He's back up, kind of hovering around the outside of the top as he's dropping now, as people are passing him. So, but he's made up several positions from that early spin. So yeah, Healy, Jurcevic, I think still have to come in. So yeah, Bertani, he'll pick up a few more spots before it's all said and done. So it may be a 30 spot by the time it's all over with.
Well, Jurcevic, he's showing like he's been in the pit for me, but it's also saying it was on lap 0 and he's been in 3 times. So clearly something right during my disconnect. Let's throw that into the melee.
Let's see. I'm gonna look here. Yeah, that's it. You know what? It says the same thing for me. That's a bit strange.
Well, yes, but he's yet to stop, isn't he? Because, well, truly stop anyway, because he's so far behind. Sabino into the pits. He may well have towed on lap 1, didn't you? So I think he wasn't. Yes, because he got involved on that. Pace lap incident.
Yep, that's correct.
We've got it. We've got it.
Yep.
We know what we're on about. We'll get there in the end. 2 babbling old men trying to remember that they've left oven chips in. Almost. So ultimately, no one coming in with Sabino though from that front group. I say group, but it's promoted Jason Green up into second. Sabino was running in a little vacuum by himself with Castro out into the distance. Of course, Leon and Pinero coming together and ending their races. They are both fully retired now, needless to say. So, with Bradwell out as well, that, I believe, should hand Brad Cathcart 3rd place in the Masters Championship. I believe. He's current. But we will find out. We'll work that one out shortly. I know he's still going, so never say never. You never know in the Weekend Warriors, do you?
No.
You never know.
You never can tell. I mean, we saw a pass for P3 in the podium in the final corner against a car with 3 wheels in Formula Ford just a few minutes ago. So, yeah, you never can tell what's going to happen.
So, a little bit of right, Castro into the pits from the lead. Here we go. Now people drafting. I managed to get some decent mileage in the form of Kabanka, Gardini and West, but Castro, Green, Marnie, Murakami all in. Will we see McCain and Healy head in this lap? They've got a little bit more of the track to go. So Tabino is our target. He's 10th overall right now, Charles. Will he come back out in 2nd place?
That's a good question.
Well, the good news is,
really
Charles,
sure.
you've only got about 30 seconds to wait to find out. So there goes Castro. How much time has he lost or gained? You never quite... I think that's going to be a chunk of it. I'm looking in the background. I'm not seeing Tabino. I am seeing Green. So there we go. This is really shaken up here. So Green is well ahead of Tabino. Well, yeah. Tabino's lost a lot of time there.
He has, and his pit stop wasn't bad. It was about a second slower from cone to cone than Castro, but he took a lot less fuel. I wonder if he's fuel saving or if he just got hung up in traffic. I was going to say that, you know, with our 30 car grid that we had, or sorry, 20 car grid we had for Formula Ford, the undercut kind of made sense because you could get out in clean air. But when you've got 47, you know, or 46, 47, whatever we started with, maybe not so much, because if you're running up front, your brake's going to come out mid-pack or in the back half, and it was going to be much tougher to try and find clean air to make that run.
Banker, Gardini, West, all in. That looks like Stephen Healy is the only driver yet to pit so far. Wow, now we get to find out really just how much damage this really is going to inflict onto Sabino from a comfortable second. He's sixth at the moment, but he's behind Green, who really did have a quick stop because he's really got away from Marnie, who he was pretty much cuddled up to before the round of pit stops. There is Sabino. They're still in their pit box, so I think he should leapfrog these guys a bit. Well, as they say that, they're all heading out of pit road. Keep eyes peeled left and right. There's our gaggle coming out of pit road, led by Gardini. Kabanka's lost time. West trying to squeeze and fight with him on pit exit, but Tabino's through and he has got back out ahead of them. Oh, that's close between West and Marnie.
Yeah. Tabino made it through. Monty not so much. Just got caught up there with West. They were able to work their way through turn 2 without any incidents. And so now Monty, if he wants to climb back up and maybe get on that overall podium, is going to have his work cut out for him.
Yes, because it's a sizable margin, isn't it? It's 2 seconds, the gap between Tabino and Gardini. So this has just become the best of the rest battle between Gardini, Kabanka, Marnie and West. I don't know, but that's why I love it. In equal measures, 7.5 minutes remaining here in the season finale. And yet again, it's all going to go down to the wire, isn't it?
It is. Yeah, I was just going back looking down. Fritcher's now, he's still P3 in Masters, and he's P11. And that pit cycle's over with, so he's managed to make up, I think, is probably as many as he's going to make up. He's got about a half-second lead over Perry, but he's right behind Murakami on track, although that gap's about 9 seconds.
Oh, it is a big old gap, isn't it, in some ways, as they come... Oh, someone having a half spin now. I just heard Screecher tires. Maybe not. Okay, we're okay. But Tabino is catching Green. But then as Tabino got... he showed my end. He was stationary for 8.5 seconds. That just seems way too low when Green was 10.3.
It does.
But then Gardini was 10 seconds exactly. Oh. He's timed it to perfection, or he's got this wrong by 1 lap.
Yep, I think that's exactly what we're looking at. So he's either got it right on and everybody took too much, or everybody else got it right and he didn't take enough.
One thing I can't tell you for definite though, Charles, is Castro just seems to have it right, because he was stationary for the slowest of most of that top 10, but yet leads this one by 2.2 seconds. So he should be good to go for the end. Shouldn't be any worries for the Brazilian today. But whether I didn't even spot Bobby West hidden in behind Marnie there. That's a lovely little exit there from Marnie. Is it going to give him the run? Oh, not quite on Gardini.
Yeah, Gardini had a really quick pit stop as well. 10 seconds flat. Put him up in P5.
Yeah, now we've got 2 Swiss drivers having a very old scrap, of course. Motor racing was banned up until recently in Switzerland. A few nations in the world that does not have a permanent racing track or any to boot. I mean, who's your money on here? Is it Gardini? Is it Marnie? So who's going to finish the top 2 Swiss drivers? Is Perry a late pit stop for him, a splash and dash to get him home? And it's closing up even more so between Gardini and West. But I tell you what, Gardini, he's sucked up right onto the gearbox of Cabanca as well.
He is indeed. Yeah, it's a tight battle up here for these 4 cars.
Slightly differing lines there. Interesting. It's always fascinating to see, you know, who's using what? Where's their mindset at now? To where just 4 seconds and so 4 minutes and change left of the season. It's time to give it everything you've got. There's no way you're going to make anything up for now. Final race of the season. These.
Looking to the inside, not quite there.
I wasn't sure whether he's going to get it slowed up in time enough, but he got it done. But what is that shallow? I mean, you'll get away with it a bit because, as you said earlier, it's more like it's 2 separate corners rather than being, you know, one apex. It's a double apex corner, though.
Yeah, it really is.
You can sort of mess up the entry on the first one and then still get it right for the exit, so you don't lose too much time on corner exit. And then you've got this lovely run here down to the hairpin. The Cabanca instantly on their defence as Gardini goes wide, looks for the late apex. That leaves up a bit of a gap here. Marnie sneaks his nose in there, feathers the throttle and exit there. That's going to kill off his momentum. And that should allow Gardini just to hold on to this one. But here comes Bobby West charging his way through. And this is the trouble with these type positions, isn't it? You have a slow exit because you can't get your overtake done. And there's someone behind you. And in this case, Bobby West says, thank you very much. I'm going to have this place from you if you can't get that move done.
No, and Monty says, no, not yet, you're not. I'm going to just keep battling, and I'm going to stay in front of you for at least another couple of quarters, and then we'll reset and try it again.
Right, so let's have a look. I'm trying to do some very quick maths. I think we've got this lap plus 2 more to go. There is Castro. Yeah.
We're coming down into 7.
That gap's shrinking between himself and Green.
It is. It is coming down just a little bit. I don't know. I was kind of feeling like this might be the last lap, though, Tim. It's going to be close.
Gardini, well, he's going at this like it is the last lap almost on Cabanca. Tries to move around the outside. Can't get it done. Has to slot back into line once more. I know this track's owned by NASCAR and they love coming here, but this has got the vibe of a NASCAR race where drivers getting out into a different line. Here comes Gardini. It looked like he was onto the dirt a little bit. An unconventional overtaking place. He gets it done, but what's Cabanca got up his sleeve? They both head to the inside. Gardini moves left just to open up the corner. Cabanca trying to squeeze his nose in, but Gardini's running in just that bit too much deep, and I think he's going to have to yield this one. We look up to Barney. What is he waving a flag? He is. You got it spot on. 1 to go. And Gardini fights back. They're side by side entering this final lap.
They're just side by side, and it's just a great battle here, and it's bringing Monty and West that much closer. And is that somebody?
That's
is that out of gas?
Yeah, that's Sabino. He's spot on. Right, okay. This is a fight for a place on the podium, not just. That's out of gas. Oh, and West just lost that bit of time behind Tabino. Oh, it's all gone wrong for the Brazilian. And it could have ended Bobby West's chance of finishing on the podium. He needs an underdog, British Bulldog spirit to haul himself back into this fight. But who's going to take that last place on the podium? Cabanca, Gardini, Marnie or West, Charles? Who's got it?
Oh, there's no way of knowing at this point. We've still got several corners left.
Oh, and even then, I think this is going to come potentially down to a run to the line. Gardini just tries to open up the corner there, keeping the momentum up on this car. But look who's coming. Look, there's even more coming. Join the fight late on. Pellegrini and Murakami and Wood there in the background to strike if something happens between these 4. Cabanca He's in control of this situation. He will go defensive to the inside into the final turn. But what has Claudio Gardini got in answer? The checkered flag out, but who cares about the winner? Castro's going to win this. Second's going to be Green, but round the outside, here we go, Claudio Gardini. Can you get the run off the line? It's a good long run to the checkered flag. Is it going to be enough? I think Kabanka's going to hold on, but here comes Marnie late on. The last lap lunge, and no, he's not quite close enough to snatch it from Gardini, but Kabanka wins the battle for third.
Wow. You couldn't have scripted it any better. I feel so bad for Tabino. He made a gamble on the fuel, and managed to get it home in 13th. But yeah, oh no.
That's gonna need. It's all right. That was across the line.
Across the line. Okay.
Yeah, they were across the line. That was okay. I'm not sure if Tabino might have lost that other line to Tony. Right, so here's on board with Chris Murakami. Downward just in front of us. Oh, that was late, Chris. That was late.
Oh, and it looked...
The Alberto Pellegrini says thank you.
Yep,
thank you,
I'll take those.
I'll mop up for you. I'll be the cleaner. Wow. Oh, this is still a race to the line. Brewster, McCain, side by side. Oh, 0.03 of a second at the line. And Brewster just holds on. Just. Literally just.
Well, I guess we need to say hello to Tam, Jim's sister, watching in Argentina. So hello, Tam. Great ending there, for 0.03 of a second. So made it exciting for himself there at the end.
A good day for the South Americans, though. Dudu Castro, overall race win. Dantas fighting back. Tabino just holding on, and Andres Bertoni from Uruguay up 26 spots into 14th. Here's your classified results, though. Just 26, rookie numbers for him. Dudu Castro wins the last race of the season. In fact, makes it back-to-back victories in the championship for him, and his 5th win of the season. A little bit of totting up there. Jason Green in the end, only 0.8 of a second at the line, but only good enough for second. And in doing so, Castro winning the Spec 1 championship. Kabanka, while he held out and beat Cardini by 1.17 seconds at the line to grab that last place on the podium. Yogmani won Masters. Well, how many times has that been? That has been 9 out of the 10 races this season. Couldn't make it, incidentally, the second time on the podium overall, though. Oh, York. Never mind. Bobby West finishes the season 6th place. Pellegrini just snatching those places at the end from Wood and Murakami to finish 7th, with Wood 8th. Murakami 9th, 2nd in Masters. Fritcher running at the top 10 and completing that Masters podium. Josh Justice, 3rd win of the season in Spec 2 for him. Congratulations. Dantas, 12th. Tabino, Bertoni. Just mentioned about Kurt Nunes, Montgomery and Simpkins. Simpkins did well to recover that one to finish 3rd in class, 17th overall. Perry with Cathcart and Thorpe rounding out your top 20. Then it was Brain, Mitchell, Yurcevic, Healy. Well, Yurcevic did well because remember he had that incident on the formation lap to finish 23rd. Healy, Jackson, Warbolt, Vincent, Fabini, then Brewster and McCain to take you up to 30th. Then it was Laurie. No, so that's changed around right at the end. Did McCain go over his incident point limits on the final lap?
Oh.
No. Yes, because he's lost it. He crossed the line pretty much side by side with Brewster.
Mm-hmm.
And now all of a sudden he's 40 seconds behind. So that's a penalty incurred on the last lap for him to finish 31st. Laurie promoted up to 30th. Then 1 lap down with Kramer and Baglini into retirements. Bradwell, we lost him on lap 22. And so was Baglini. Lap 20. Vaccaro, lap 15. Panero, lap 11. And Lynn, 12. Then we've got Ray on lap 6. Martin on the opening lap with Telka and Berry not making the start. So, chat, we've only got one person sat waiting, and that is our race winner and Spec 1 champion, Judo Castro. And back-to-back wins to close out the season, you know. Not a bad result.
Yeah. Yeah, that wasn't expecting that result today. I told you last week it's not the best track for me. But I think I got lucky. I think Marco got an issue with Yangtze, 2 fast guys. And then I was pretty much managing my fuel and trying to avoid the off tracks and everything. So was a stressful race, but a little bit easier than I thought it would be, because I thought it was. I wasn't thinking that I could be winning this one, but I'm really happy.
I mean, once you got to the front, you pretty much checked out from there. Nobody could really, you know, especially as they started battling behind you, which, you know, certainly on a track like this really, really holds them off. I mean, it must have been, you know, the second half of the race must have been a lot more sort of stress-free. I mean, we did see you lost a bit of time to Jason on the second half of the race. Was that just purely where you were just managing it to ensure you brought the car home and nothing bad happened to it so that you wouldn't lose the championship to Jason?
Yeah, no, nothing bad happened. I've ended with a liter of fuel, so I had enough fuel. I was pretty much managing, trying to not losing my concentration and doing any mistake, because this track is it's not fair with you. If you do any mistake, you lose a lot of time. So yes, you were right. On the first half of the race was stressful, especially because when I saw that Marco lost his front of his car and I couldn't go faster than him, I said, if he goes to the pit and do a fast repair, he will be faster than I am. So then I wasn't understanding why he didn't pit stop earlier to fix that. But at the end, everything went fine. I think I did my 8 races, and all 8 races were in the podium. I think 5 wins, and could be 6, but it was 5, and I'm really happy with that.
It was 5 wins, coming at Willow Springs, Tsukuba, Belle Isle, Laguna Seca last week, and of course today. And then, third place was your lowest finish, yes, at New Hampshire a couple of weeks ago. So yeah, not a bad season, really. Not a bad season. Well, have we got you next week for the runoffs?
Yes.
Good stuff.
Yeah, I'm registered in both classes. So let's see what we can do on the rain too. So it's gonna be fun. So yeah, I'm really happy to what happened this season, and couldn't be better.
Well, congratulations, winner today and champion in the Spec 1 category, Dudu Castro.
Thank you, sir.
Charles, twice in one evening. We're gonna have to start off. The rumours are going to be churning here about you two.
I tell you what, Jorg, congratulations, class win, class championship, double championship, both Formula Ford and Sprint Racer. Congratulations.
Thanks a lot. I'm really happy this season. Yeah, it worked out. And even I got for once very, very lucky in this race now.
So I was going to mention that was a great 4-car battle there in the last half of the race between you and West and Gardini and Kabanka. I thought that was some really riveting racing amongst you guys.
Yeah, it was really a lot of tension in between, but the good tension, not bad tension. And I've tried to squeeze myself in after the pit stop, because I saw them coming on F3, and I thought, shit, I'm gonna be behind them, and I could squeeze myself into Bobby, and I left him hopefully enough room there, and so I could stay in touch with Christian and who was this guy's names? I'm getting old, I can't remember names anymore now.
Well, if they weren't written down in front of me, I couldn't remember them either, Jorg, so I completely understand.
Yeah.
So, all right. So season done. So runoffs next week. I'm assuming you're going to be out enjoying the rain at Okayama in the Formula Ford, and then again with the spec racers.
I guess I will, yeah. But for the most of the week, it's called plain couch potato, and that's all I'm gonna do on the evenings.
There you go. That's like a good plan.
Yeah.
Your congratulations, and we'll talk to you probably. We'll at least see you next week. Whether we talk to you, we'll see.
Yeah, we'll see. Okay.
Yeah. All
Good
right,
night, guys. Bye bye.
Well, let's have a quick look. I don't think we've got anyone else sat waiting. No, we haven't. Oh, not a bad way to end the season, Charles?
Oh, absolutely not. Great racing in both races. This one, obviously, Dudu had the field covered, but everybody behind seemed like they were doing their best to either move up or put it in the wall. So yeah, it was great racing and really enjoyed it as always.
And well, if that wasn't enough for you, coming up in 1 week's time, it might be week 13, of course, the runoffs here for the Weekend Warriors. First, big grid wet weather race on the whole of iRacing. Make sure you tune in for that with the Formula 4s. The SRFs will be there too. Double header from Okayama, of course the rescan track, all the updated graphics. It's going to be beautiful. It's going to be spectacular. And the racing shouldn't be half bad either. But thank you very much for joining us. What an epic season it has been. But that is just the SRF Weekend Warriors. From myself, Tim Cox, Charles and Samuli Kumo, thank you very much for joining us, and we'll see you in a week's time for the runoffs. Goodbye.